So, the SAF supply is starting to get there. It is definitely increasing. Haldane, do you think this is a turning point for the industry to get us to net zero?
I think it is to a certain extent. With the caveat that we always need to do more and faster, we can never let up on this. We are seeing actually a real shift in the way that the industry, not only aviation industry, but also the SAF supply industry is responding to this. In the last 2.5 years or so, we've seen a real shift and an uptick in the number of offtake agreements signed, the number of new plants being announced, and the IAG example that you mentioned before is just the latest in a whole line of different agreements that have been reached. So that's really important. We need to double down on that, triple down on it. We need to keep that momentum going as much as possible. Because, as I said right at the start, this is a real challenge for the industry. We're not going to just coast our way to 2050 and net zero. We really need to work hard at this. And it's important for all parts of the sector to do that as well. It can't just be on the big airlines or airline groups like IAG and United and the Lufthansa Group and the others that have been really pushing into this space a lot more. But it needs to be all different types of airline sizes as well. And I know that there's a lot of nervousness amongst particularly medium and smaller airlines around the world because they aren't used to having to spend so much time thinking about the source of their fuel. They traditionally have just gone out to the traditional fuel suppliers and asked for however much fuel they need, and it was delivered to where they needed it. Whereas now we're having to get involved in the fuel production process to a certain extent, partially because the traditional fuel suppliers have not been playing the role that they need to play in this area. They have been holding us back, I would say, and we need to see much better from them as well, because at the end of the day, we like flying planes in aviation. That's our job. Our job isn't creating CO2 emissions. Our job is getting people to their destinations, getting cargo to its destination. We need to figure out how we solve the CO2 problem. But it's not only on us to do that. We need governments on board with the right policies, and we need the energy industry and the finance industry to help us make that a reality as well.